Hello JRPG fans, and welcome to the top 10 JRPGs with adult protagonists. Now, when talking about JRPGs, the conversations inevitably come around to the fact that a lot of them have high school students or that sort of age as their main cast and lead. And this does put off a lot of people. So I've seen that conversation happen a lot of time. People saying they don't play it because they just don't want to play that sort of character. It means nothing to them. So today I wanted to create a list that breaks that mould. So this list will include characters that are more mature in both age and actions. So when I say adult, so you can say 18 to 20, it's still considered quite young by a lot of older people. But there is differences. Some of those characters in JRPGs act very young, some of them act very mature. So we're aiming to find the ones that actually act like mature adults, whatever that means. So take it how you will. So yeah, we're definitely not including, the stereotype of the 1,000-year-old dragon, goblin, unicorn thing that looks like a 3-year-old. That doesn't count unless they act like an adult. So yeah, here we go, in no particular order. Please enjoy the list. Number 1, Folklore. This is possibly the strangest one on the list. Well, I say that, some of the others are pretty odd. At first glance, it might be mistaken as a Western produced game, and in many cases people, including myself when it first came out, did think that. But it's actually created by a Tokyo-based company called Game Republic. It was released in 2007 for the PS3. This is an action RPG series that sees you reprising the roles of either Ellen or Keats in the present day setting of Doolin Island. They both have very different reasons to head to the strange village to explore its mysteries, and it presents overall a kind of strange, grim fairy tale like story that is quite interesting to play through. And if you're looking for a more mature plotline, give this one a look. Number 2, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey. You could pick any of the Shin Megami Tensei games, really, but this one sticks out in my mind the most. Mostly because everyone is actually a soldier, so it suggests they're older. The other SMTs, like, say, 3, Demi-Fiend is actually a high school student at the start. SMT 4 and Apocalypse, they look like they could be that sort of age, or just gone. So I didn't choose those. But yes, Strange Journey. You play as a strike member of a special task force being sent to the Schwarzwelt, a strange spatial anomaly that's appeared in Antarctica. After some antics, you discover that it's filled with demons. Of course, it's an SMT game, and you must proceed through a complex and dangerous labyrinth while recruiting demons to your side. It's quite a challenging first-person dungeon crawler, and the overall plot is not for the light-hearted, having many mature themes and like the whole apocalyptic nature of what's going on. So yeah, while a lot of the other SMT games are of a more mature storyline, this one I think stands out. But tell me, what do you feel is your favourite SMT? Number 3, Vagrant Story, an action RPG released on the original PlayStation in 2000 by Squaresoft, now Square Enix. It's another strange game set actually in the same universe as the Final Fantasy Tactics games. The story centres around Ashley Riot, that's her name, a special agent called a Risk Breaker who's in his late 20s. The game starts out with Ashley attempting to find information on a strange cult in the city of Le Monde, or something like that, and their links with the current ruling class. Things quickly get out of hand as you start to unravel the darkness that's taken hold of this ruined city. The game looks and feels like an old survival horror, and many of the enemies also have a darker tone than other Final Fantasies. It also has quite a unique style in its actual gameplay. The battle is a pausable real-time combat system, as in like when you select to do an action the game pauses, but other than that it's all done in real time, and you can actually hit enemy limbs as opposed to just hitting them as a target. making for kind of like the tactical element of the gameplay. So if you're looking for, a JRPG that has that old Resident Evil style survival horror aspect with all the puzzles and such as well, then this might be the odd gem that's just for you. Number 4, Shadow Hearts, a turn-based role-playing game released for the PS2. This is the first game to bear the name Shadow Hearts, of which there are 3, but it's actually a sequel to a PS1 obscure little gem called Kudelka. The game follows Yuri, a human with the ability to capture monsters, as he attempts to protect Alice from the antagonist of the game. The director, Matsuzo Machida, cited that he took a lot of inspiration from Lovecraft and the manga Devilman. So with this as inspiration, the game is going to have quite dark undertones. And believe me, in the character designs and everything like that, you definitely see it. The gameplay is pretty traditional, apart from the Judgment Ring, which is a timing-based system you utilise when you're doing pretty much any action. It's a little circle with multiple points you have to click the button at the right time to hit. And obviously good results means you get good rewards. The game is quite a masterpiece, and the second one is very good as well. A lot of people are a bit iffy on the third, but I've not actually played that one yet myself, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, overall, give Shadow Hearts a good try. It's worth it. Number 5, Vandal Hearts. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for the quality of the footage, as I've yet to do my own recording for this game, and this is the best quality trailer I could find. It deserves far better. But yes, this game is a strategy RPG released by Konami for PS1. The game is a classic strategy RPG style, in the likes of like Fire Emblem, Shining Force, Final Fantasy Tactics, and it is right up there with them, in my opinion. The game centres around Ash Lambert and his fellow security forces members as they attempt to thwart a conspiracy they believe to be arising in their nation. The game is quite a classic take on the genre, apart from the erupting geysers of blood when you actually kill an enemy. But in my opinion, this game deserves a far larger following than it actually has received. But it does have 2 more titles, for better or worse, following it. But yeah, if you enjoy strategy RPGs, then this might be the one for you. Number 6, Yakuza Like a Dragon. The latest instalment in the Yakuza series from Sega. Basically, I could have included any of the games from this, but yeah, I went for this one. This one stands out because it's the first turn-based game in the series. The rest of them are very much action games, like action beat-em-up games. And it follows a new protagonist called Ichiban Kasuga, which makes it very welcoming for newcomers, as you don't need to have had all of the background from the rest of the games, which are quite connected. Kasuga, who has been in prison for 18 years, then betrayed by his former boss, sets out to be a hero, like the main character from his favourite game, Dragon Quest, hence the name Like a Dragon. And yeah, he seems to basically see the world as kind of a turn-based JRPG, hence why the game is turn-based. It's worth playing. It's both wacky and quite a touching story and such. But yes, the game basically can't get enough praise and is a shining example of modern JRPGs, and it's very much worth your time. Number 7, Lost Odyssey. Possibly the best JRPG on the Xbox 360. This amazing game was released by Mistwalker of Hironobu Sakaguchi fame for the 360 in 2007, and it follows the story of Kaim, an immortal who's lost his memory. You must gather fellow immortals and normal humans to try and prevent the looming darkness coming, while coming to terms with the thousands of years of memories that are slowly unlocking. The gameplay is very traditional for turn-based style, so what you'd expect. Turn-based combat, overworld, etc, etc. And it services the game well, and it's fine. But the story, man, the story. This is one of the few games that has brought me to tears, and you really need to experience it for yourself. Number 8, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Poor Xenoblade Chronicles X, a game that's currently stuck on the underperforming Wii U, sadly meaning it's faded a bit into obscurity. X takes place after humanity has had to flee Earth due to a war between two alien nations, and the Ark ship that you're on has crash landed on the new world of Mira after taking some damage. This game's a bit different to the other titles, as you actually play a self-made avatar, but that doesn't take away from the, adult protagonists, as you join the military force in an attempt to forge a path of humanity on this new world. It's a massive and beautiful game, and it deserves to be played by more people. Number 9, Radiant Historia. A game that was released for both the DS and later got a remake on the 3DS. Radiant Historia is co-developed by Atlas and Headlock, and follows Stock, an agent of Alistel, who basically gains the power to alter time in an attempt to save his kingdom from the Sand Plague. Basically a plague that will end all life, draining all mana from the land, etc, etc. Classic end of the world stuff. But don't let that deter you. The game is quite mature in its plot line, and actually does time travel well, as you go back and try and alter various points to stop certain events from happening, and seeing things from different angles, etc, etc. The gameplay as well, it's turn-based, but on like small grids. So your side has a grid, the enemy has a grid. So it's not quite a strategy game, not Final Fantasy Tactics, etc. But it's still very much a turn-based game, and it's actually very fun. So overall, yeah, as being one of the few games that does time travel well, on that alone, I'd recommend it. So go out and enjoy it. Number 10, Nier. Last but by no means least, we come to Daddy Nier, a game directed by the now legendary director Yoko Taro, released on the PS3 and 360, and soon to be released on modern consoles in 2021. The game actually has two versions. Japan got Replicant, which has a younger main character looking to save his sister, and it's the version we're going to see in the remake. And then there's the version we got in the West, which has good old Papa Nier, and it's called Gestalt, which is an awesome name. So yeah, we see an old man out to save his daughter, and it's quite clunky now, and even back then, and it's randomly a spin-off of Drakengard. But honestly, the plot is beautiful and needs to be experienced for yourself. And the gameplay, like I said, might be clunky, but it's definitely varied as well. So seriously, out of all of them, this one, go out and try it. Well, there we have it. 10 JRPGs with adult protagonists and kind of more mature themes and such. If you can think of any more, please drop them down in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon.